Yes, it is I, your humble host, Bill Hatt the Third, coming to you live from the palatial home studios of Bald Spots Productions here in the beautiful city of Santa Ana, California. Joining me, as per the usual, in studio is my friend, my brother in Christ, the disembodied voice of Rudy.
Hi, everybody. Waka, 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 waka with the Lord.
And joining us from a more than acceptable safe social distance through the miracle of telephony is my guest for today, Brian Wagner, manager
Hello.
of Billingsley.
Yay!
And yes, this is another episode of Not Quite After Midnight, a very special episode.
Encore.
Yeah, that's it. Show's over.
That's all she wrote.
That's it. Yep. So how's it going, Brian?
Oh, things are good. Things are really good. In the Billingsley world, we're coming towards the end of the year. So there's a few more shows coming up, but not a lot left. And then they're going into the studio in January. There's a new single that's coming out at the end of the month.
Right.
It's called Serenity. And there's a fantastic video that's coming out that is just out of this world, that I can't wait for people to see. They just released Mood Ring, which was a single that just came out a little while ago also. So they're upping their productivity and releasing things. So there's going to be next year, I think, like there's going to be a whole flood of more singles coming out. Like every couple months there's going to be something new coming out. They're honing in on putting things out and getting more content out, so that's kind of where we're going with everything right now.
Great.
They're getting to the point where they can play 3 hour shows and without any, like, straight through, no problem. They're constantly adding new songs, like new covers that they're doing in and out, which is, the set lists are getting really, really interesting. It's just fun. It's fun right now. I mean, everywhere we play, people seem to absolutely love them. So, and I know I'm, hugely biased, but they're just
No,
like
not
nailing
at
it
all.
right now. They're nailing it right now. It's so good. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. Where can people find Billingsley stuff outside of North Carolina?
you can always go to the YouTube channel, or you can always go, if you want to just go to the website, which is www.billingsley.rocks.com. And
BillingsleyRocks.com.
you go there, and then if you want to go to anywhere, it'll take you. You just click on it, and it'll
That's
take
sweet.
you right to either YouTube or Spotify, or you know wherever you want to hear stuff, you can.
Have you done your YouTube handle yet for the channel? That's
You
the new thing. YouTube now has handles. It's at whatever it is you've chosen.
Oh, not
So
that. I mean, I'll have
yeah,
to. I haven't yet, but I'm sure
yeah.
that in,
You
in
need to get
band
on there and claim it.
band meeting mode,
Yeah.
that'll be something we talk about. But they've they've just been very busy, and it's awesome to hear and great to see that
Great.
they're trying to move things forward, which is all you can hope for.
Yep, yep. That is just about all you can hope for is moving forward.
Hmm.
And then you've gotten yourself a new day job, which
Oh
sounds
yeah,
really interesting.
I do. After doing counseling for 19 years, um, I kind of needed to step away from doing that. I had gotten to the point where I had 90 clients,
Wow.
and I was just daily doing therapy with 90 people on a regular basis,
Mhm.
got to be a bit much. So I was like, there's gonna have to be a career change, and
Mm.
that's kind of what happened. I lucked out that there was a state agency in South Carolina where I live, that was hiring, and I applied, and now I work for the deaf and blind school in South Carolina, and it's amazing. I'm learning ASL like a champ. Um,
Awesome.
it's just it's a great place to work. People are fantastic. It's kind of hard. One of my favorite quotes I learned from one of the foundation folks that works with the schools, like, it's kind of hard not to get behind kids that have disabilities. And if you
Mm.
can't do that, then, like, you know, there's usually something not, all
Something wrong
there.
here.
It's easy to work for folks that, like, are so, I mean, the kids are so kind and so caring, and it just makes it easy to come to work. So
Awesome.
there was a shift. I don't have 90 clients anymore. Now I have like a staff of like 20 or so. So
Wow.
it's pretty nice.
That's cool. That's cool. So
Mhm.
what ASL have you learned so far?
I mean, I can do, like, I know some phrases. I can put together a sentence. I can, if I can finger spell like a champ. So um, I can do kindergarten ASL pretty good, enough so where the kids so the kids can be like, they can ask me something and I can be like, oh, all right, that's what you mean. Okay. And then I have to be like, you know, slow finger spell. And they're like, okay, like, and the other things are like, so, and I'm like, okay, that's what you mean. So, you know, most of the times they're very kind to me. So, um,
That's good.
yeah.
Understanding of the limits of your language abilities.
Oh, definitely. It
I
makes you
get,
humble real quick.
yeah, yeah, that's for sure. I get something along those same lines at my church. I felt led to join the Hispanic congregation that used to rent the fellowship hall from my old church. And when they closed, God said, "Okay, this is where you're going now."
Mhm.
And I said, "I don't speak Spanish." He's like, "I didn't stutter."
Yeah, right. Doesn't
And
matter. Like,
it doesn't matter. And
the
I'm still learning Spanish, and they're still being understanding of me.
yeah,
I'm
the hard
actually I'm actually in charge of doing the multimedia for the Sunday morning services,
oh
and
wow,
making sure that the Facebook's kept up to date and all of that good stuff. Make sure it gets up on the podcasting platforms
very
and
cool. My boss here was kind of the same thing. I was like, do I need to know how to sign? And he's like, no, your heart's in the right place. He's like, you're fine. He's like, come
okay.
on, you'll learn, you'll learn quick. I was like, all right.
I guess if you have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when they say the best way to learn another language is to go into that culture and to, spend large amounts of time there. Well, I think that's 100% true, because you go and then you start picking stuff up just from having to, you know, muddle your way through everything, but you begin to retain stuff out of nowhere. So, um, it's I'm getting there, and I hope to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah, I think using it is key to regularly using it is key to learning how to use it
Hmm.
and being forced into the situation. But because I seem to recall I knew more Japanese when I was living in Okinawa than I do now.
Right. Because you had to.
Kind of had to. Uh, but of course, I've lived in Southern California most of my life and still don't speak much Spanish. So
Mhm. Yeah, it
yeah,
sounds like you're going to have the opportunity to.
yeah, for sure. But yeah. So what is it that your job is aside from signing with kids? What is it you
Um,
do as director of
well, I'm an associate director,
associate
so
director?
I'm over. Well, the kids come here and they come like on Sunday evenings and they leave on Friday morning.
Okay.
They stay here during the week,
Oh
uh,
wow.
and then they go home on the weekends.
Okay.
Um, and they're from all over the state. So we have, like, when the buses leave, it's like a fleet of buses taking them all over. Um, but I'm in charge of, it's like 4 dorms. And then I'm in charge of the staff over those dorms. So like basically second and third shift are my folks.
Okay.
And then, whatever, my main goal is to make sure they have everything they need to make sure that the kids get what they need. So
Right.
if they like call me up, hey, I'm out of like bleach. Can you give me bleach? I'm like, sure. Like, and I have to make sure they have it, before they come in, their stuff's there. Or, hey, we're planning this event. The kids are gonna go out and do this with this. Like Halloween was a big thing. So it's like, you have to be around to help like organize like where they're going and who's going to be working and just logistical stuff. And that's fine. Like for everything is, I don't get stressed out by much anymore because it's not like I'm not worried about, someone harming themselves or harming someone else. That's
Right.
like that's no longer there. So it's like, okay, like everything else is like, yeah, it's fine. You know, not bleeding or dying. It's okay. It's like
Right.
it's all good.
Yep. I used to work at a campground, and the director of the campground used to say the secret to having your kids do well in the camp was warm feet, warm and dry feet, and full
Right.
tummies.
Right. You know, just
Everything else
all
just kind
stuff
of
we
falls
normally
into
want.
play. Yeah.
Everyone wants to be warm and fed. Like,
Yep.
the basic necessities of life. If you can give people those things,
The rest
everything's
of it
pretty
falls
much
in
smooth
place.
from there on out.
Pretty much. Pretty
Mhm.
much. Yeah, you can't beat a pair of warm socks.
No. My dad always said, take care of your feet and take care of your head. And I'm like, all right. So in the winter, like I always have a hat on. And then like
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
summer, I have a big floppy thing like that I wear. Um, but yeah, just basic needs.
Yeah. Cool. No, that's awesome. I'm glad you found something that's making you happy as far as the day job goes.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
when you were here the last time, we did learn a lot about Billingsley. Of course, we heard a
Yes.
lot from oh my gosh, Teddy Brunetti.
Yes.
Teddy,
Teddy, wa-
and
Teddy
yeah,
was
I
on.
need to
She's
I
on
need to reach out
fire.
to her. Oh yeah, she had great stories.
She
Um,
does.
yeah, and I need to find out what she's doing and get her on another show. But yeah,
Yeah.
so let's see. So Billingsley's doing a tour right now.
Yeah, they've
They're
they've been playing.
Mhm.
Last weekend they were in Georgia.
Okay.
Before that they were in Tennessee. Um, the next couple shows are all kind of close by. They're coming into December, I think, because I don't think they have anything else for the rest of November. I think they're good. But then December comes and they do a show in um South Carolina, and then they do a show in North Carolina, I think, and then that's a wrap. Unless something happens between now and then, and someone's like, "Hey, New Year's," but I don't think there's anything. There's not anything like super planned. And then middle of January, they go into the studio for 3 days, 3 days,
Mhm.
4 days. Um, and they've got like 16 songs that are ready to go. They just haven't been recorded. So they're going to start going in every 2 months, every 3 months, and then go in and knock out two or three, and then release them, stagger them, and then keep doing that throughout the year, I think. Um, and I remember I questioned them on it because I'm older than all of them. So I'm like, why don't you just like put an album out? And they're like, no. I'm like, well, why? And they're like, you're not of our era, are you? And I'm like, I'm like, well, explain it to me. And they're like, well, we love albums, right? And they're great and all, but like attention spans are smaller. He's like, so we're gonna release chunks of songs throughout the year and then see where it goes.
Mhm.
So that's kind of where they're at right now.
Yeah.
They had Long Shot come out, Mood Rings out, and Serenity is coming out, and that was three in a row pretty much.
Okay.
Um, but then, like I said, there's like 16 songs just waiting. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait.
You
Because I
know,
mean, they're
not
really
the
good.
you're not the first person I've heard talk about that. And what seems to be the common knowledge now is that each song needs to be given time to breathe,
Right.
and that by doing that, when you eventually do put them together as an album, then people
Mhm.
are more likely to listen to the whole thing instead of
Right.
just skip from single to single,
Right.
and so the album becomes more worthwhile.
Yeah. And it makes me, it makes me long for what I grew up with, and
Mhm.
like classic rock albums. And like, I was listening to Rick Beato talk about, he does this thing where it's like, what makes a song great?
Mhm.
And like breaks down all these tunes.
Yeah.
Well, he was doing a Who song, so it makes me think of Quadrophenia. And I
Mhm.
remember, hearing that like in fourth grade and being like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. Like, and listening to it all the way through, but like
Mhm.
now it's different. Like,
Yeah.
if you were to pick out like 515 from that album and be like, this is just what you get this. Like,
Right.
would it have that same impact? I don't. So for me, it's tough, but I guess, I'm
Yeah.
old, so.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Tell me about it. I am old and far from cool. Uh,
Right. See, yes, I'm told that a lot.
if
Like
I
I'm
if I stand up on my tippy toes on top of a chair, maybe I can see cool from here.
right.
Maybe.
It's very far away. It's off in the distance.
Yes. Yes. Just over the hill.
Yes.
I think that's where
So
that comes from. But
so when we have meetings and such and we talk about releasing material,
mhm.
they kind of are like, no, we have to pay attention to where we're at. And yes, we do love music from a certain time, but it makes more sense to do it this way. So I have to be like, all right, there's certain things they trust my judgment on, and certain things I have to trust their judgment on. So
Yeah. 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 That's for sure. That's for sure. I miss one thing I do miss is the story albums. Where
yeah.
the songs all come together
Mhm.
as a story. The rock opera kind
Right.
of an idea.
Like, yeah, like Quadrophenia or The
Like
Wall
Quadrophenia
or
or The Wall.
even like Who's Next? Like,
Yeah.
those albums that were concept albums, like
Right.
where you had a whole series of songs, even God, even go back to 1993. Like you had Fish doing Rift.
Okay.
Rift is an entire album about a guy falling asleep and then having a series of dreams and then waking up at the end. So it's
Yep.
like all those things, played into that whole record, and that whole record
Yeah.
is great,
Yeah.
but it's different, it's just a different, and maybe it'll swing back. Who knows? Like
Yeah.
maybe
Things
the
come
pendulum
around.
will go the other way, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
But yeah. But I think each style has its place in the grand songbook of life.
Hmm.
But uh, um, but yeah. Um, who was it? It was who was it I had on doing that does the where the songs are connected. Android Superstation
Hmm.
was who it was. Their songs are connected, and they even have a comic book that comes out with it.
That's like Coheed and Cambria does that too,
Yeah.
where they have
So
that all the songs are like connected and there's a universe behind the songs, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of thought into that. um but I guess that some of that's still there and people still dig that.
yeah,
It's-
yeah. I mean, if it's good, it's good. People are gonna listen.
right.
You know. But yeah, you just gotta get it out there.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. I'm so excited. Like that new video comes out on the 27th, and I'm like, I've seen it, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like that thing is um it's something else. Like I'm hoping that a lot of people will see it. So
Yeah, BillingsleyRocks.com,
ooh,
and
yes,
you can find. Are you Billingsley Rocks across all the socials too,
I
or
I believe so. On 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 Instagram, it might just be Billingsley, but if you
Okay.
go to the website and you click on
Right.
it, it'll like take you there.
Right. Right.
Um,
Branding, man.
like yes, gotta like sell your wares.
Universal branding, so
Yep.
people can find you everywhere. Yeah,
That's
I do a little coaching on the side as my day gig, and had a client the other day who was so all over the place. It was Googling his name, didn't pop up anything
oh no.
on yeah at
So I
all.
know
Nothing on the
we
first page.
I know we do that. If if you go and Google Billingsley or Billingsley band, it'll be like boink, and then we're right there. So that was part of me coming in, I think, to help the guys has been, all right, your foundation needs to be in one area to build this thing. So like, over, and I've been with them now for 2 years, has been, we need to come up with a unified thing. What does it look like? What does this do? Like, what are you trying to do with this? Like, don't just throw it out and hope and like and hope for something. You can kind of, you have to work at it to make it cohesive. So that's
Yeah,
part of what I hopefully have been helpful to the guys with.
yeah. Now let's see. If you Google Billingsley, it doesn't come up, but Billingsley Rocks does.
Right. So there you go.
Yeah,
Like
and there's some
it'll
videos
hmm
at the Orange Peel.
yes, you were there.
And
And now
there's
we have a
Facebook.
what has also happened in the last little bit? All of
Yeah.
a sudden we've had like 4 or 5 of our like diehard fans that have been like, how do we help you? We're like, what do you mean? Like, we're stunned. We're like, what? I'm like, how do we help you? Like, we want to give you things. Like, what? Why do you want to give us things? We just want you to keep moving forward. How can we help? And I was like, oh wow, okay. So we set up a donation page on a donation thing on the website,
Mhm.
but most of those folks are kind of local, so they've been helping a lot, and that's kind of how this next video got made. Was we had a large monetary donation made, and it was like, oh sweet, well this is gonna be nuts. We're gonna just throw something and make something that they've been dreaming about. So that's gonna like, you know, money doesn't buy happiness, but it can afford you to do some really weird stuff if you need to. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's one way of putting it.
yeah,
I like the money doesn't buy happiness, but it can buy you a really big boat and you can sail to happiness.
right. It can take you to the land of the West if you needed to.
That's
Um,
right.
um, so I mean, that's something that's happened. We've had um a couple, one local gentleman who's been very, very generous. We've had another really big fan in Virginia do some out of like things you just wouldn't normally have happen. Like, what do you need? What do you mean? What do we need? Like, what do you need? And I'm like, well, I know, Bennett needs like, if we're gonna ever get them to
This is
play,
ridiculous. It's 9:45.
you know, if we're ever gonna do Tom Sawyer live, we need rototoms.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all of a sudden, a set of rototoms appeared on our front doorstep. Like just stuff like that, like stuff you wouldn't suggest. Like, people have been very kind and very giving all of a sudden, and like we don't know what to do with it. Like, those guys are super humble and have large amounts of humility, and like are like, this is weird. Like, we don't know what to do with this. And I'm like, you're gonna do this. Like, if people are gonna just show up and start giving you funds. Like, we need to make a way so that can happen. So that's how that came about on the page also, because they're like, but that's gonna make us sound like we're like asking for things. I mean, you're not asking for anything. Like, this is people coming to you and being like, let's help. Like, okay. So that was I think that wasn't a battle, but it was definitely like a discussion over a large amount of time. You got to make things where people can access that information if they want to do something with it. So that's something that's happened over the last little bit, and it's led to, you know, some pretty interesting stuff like that new video, and like, you know, getting different equipment so guys they can play, you know, stuff they've always wanted to play, and like, you know, now Tom Sawyer is in the rotation, and it's like, you know, that's pretty cool. Like, all of a sudden you're seeing them at a show and they play that song, and you look over and, you know, there's like people losing it because they're like, oh my god, there it is, and I'm like, yes, like, score. Like, it's fun. It's constantly evolving and getting in the right direction. So
For sure. You know, always looking for sponsors and stuff for the for this show and the other shows that I do during the week. But it can be tough. It can be tough going. But you know, I always remember, you know, like it's tough to ask, you know, to like, please sponsor me, give me money.
right.
But it's like you don't get because you don't ask, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I gotta constantly seek sponsorship instead of doing the self-sponsor thing.
Yeah,
But
like, you know, because walking that fine line is hard to do at times. Because everything costs. I
yep,
mean,
time is a cost.
yeah, everything. So
Your cost to do this right now is your lunch break.
yes, yes, it is. But it's, you know, all of those things add up over time, and it's good. You know, we all make sacrifices for things that we really like and enjoy and spend energy on, and it makes sense. If you want something to work, you're gonna have to work.
Yep,
Hmm.
that is for sure. Sorry, my spot. I liked. I followed the band on Spotify, and now Spotify is saying things to me.
Nice, fantastic.
Please pay attention to Spotify.
Right, come see us.
Come
We're
see
going to
us.
we're gonna ping you now 8 million times to
That's
remind
right.
you.
That's
The
right.
algorithm says we want to see you.
Yep, yep. No. When I googled Billingsley, I popped up Facebook and Instagram and the Spotify and all, and did the like and subscribe thing. Like, follow,
Awesome.
subscribe.
Thank you so
So
much.
everybody should go do that.
Yes.
Billingsley rocks.
Like all the things,
Like
please.
all the things. Yes. Kick the algorithm into gear.
And it's been, you know, the last video that came out was for mood ring, and like, we had a huge jump from what we're used to. Like, when we release something, there'll be like 2000 or 2001 or, you know, thousand, so many thousand people watching it, but mood ring shot up to like 7.5.
Wow.
And for us, that's like, whoa, okay, like, all of a sudden, you know, you're seeing a jump in the amount of people that, like, one, you know who the heck we are, or two, are enjoying it. So it's like, you know, the hope is with each successive release that it'll get, you know, it'll keep building. And I'm pretty sure that I so I can hear Wilson now. Don't you dare, don't you dare release that thing before the 27th. And it's hard because it's like, I know it's really, really awesome, and it's like, oh man, I gotta wait 17 more days. It's like, oh,
Sunday?
it might be. I know I think it's Wilson's
Yeah,
birthday.
the 27th is a Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's Wilson's birthday, so he'll be turning 30. And he's like, we're gonna release it on my birthday. I'm like, okay, hey,
Okay.
You know, he's like, everyone will be home. It'll be after, Thanksgiving holiday. I was like,
Yep. They'll
not
have
a
done
bad
all
idea,
their Black Friday shopping
right? People
and
be overeating and chilling, and they might want to listen to something new. So,
yeah, eating turkey sandwiches and
mhm.
yeah. Actually, speaking of that, today's Rudy's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rudy!
Muchos gracias, volare. Thank you.
He's trying to learn
Awesome.
Spanish.
Oh, fantastic.
So, yeah, no, that's awesome planning and happenstance. Yeah, 27th is a great day I think, to release a new video.
And it'll be Serenity is written by Wilson. So like the last three songs, Long Shot came out, and Long Shot was written by Grant. And that we had a big video on that one also. And then Mood Ring was written by Bennett. And then the video for it's like a lyric video.
Okay.
And then Serenity is the new one, and that Wilson wrote that one. So it's like they each are having releases. And Wilson's the last of the new stuff that has come out recently, and then they're gonna go back in, like I said, and record some stuff in January. I'm getting a really cool camera, a video camera. So we're gonna have like in studio stuff in January. So that'll be more coming out. So
Okay.
trying to be more attentive to content and getting more stuff out.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, there, you gotta keep feeding the beast. That's for sure. Because I mean, people forget about you between song releases if you don't give them something.
Right. Like,
I've gotta get on top of that too, because this is we've kind of hit a stall point in subscribership and viewership and all. So,
hmm.
but we had one that hit 20,000.
Hey, that'd be awesome. Like I would take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it jumped the viewership on a bunch of other episodes of all the shows
Right, because
too.
people go back and listen and be like,
Yeah,
"Oh, well, that was good."
let's
Let's
watch
go see
this.
yeah, let's see what it was like, 6 months ago. Let's see what
Yeah.
he was doing then. So,
Yep. It's definitely changed, and of course, the YWL online shows are completely different from Not Quite After Midnight. But yeah, yeah. I hope you guys hit it pretty big.
thank
Um,
you.
yeah, I just checked out the YouTube page and because I can't do just one thing at one time.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you guys need some more subscribers, but you got more than I do. I have like 14.
You know, it's
20,000 views and 14 subscribers.
that's awesome though. That's so good.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see. Since the guys are on tour and then they'll be back and then doing some more releases.
Hmm.
Any have you been able to join them at any of the shows on the tour or
Oh yeah,
you
like
just too busy with work?
no. I didn't get to go to Georgia this past weekend, and I was kind of
Mm.
bummed. One, because it was the first time they played in Georgia, and two, I always like to go to as many as I can, but my
Mhm.
entire house, besides myself, became sick.
Oh
Uh,
no.
So I had like kids and wife and baby and the whole thing just kind of was like
Mhm.
germ zone. So I was like, I have to stay home. Like,
Yeah.
and I did that. But my wife and my youngest went to see them in Tennessee when they played in Tennessee. And that was great. That was fantastic.
There's some great venues in Tennessee.
It's this really awesome, like, and I found them like by perchance, I scroll through Facebook and look for people looking for places, and I'm always looking for, venues or unique places for them to play.
Yeah.
There was this place called USA Raft Adventure in Edwin, Tennessee, and I was like, all right, let's just see, and you send stuff out to people, and they had the guy who does events out there, and he was like, yeah, his name is Colby was like, hey, yeah, come. So we've been out there now twice, and it was like both times people are like, wow, like you guys actually are good. I'm like, well, thanks. We think we're good, but it's nice to hear other people think so. So
Yeah.
and it's like right by the water. It's like this, it's just an amazing place. So sometimes you get lucky like that. Like you end up playing shows by a river for like people who are hiking the Appalachian Trail and going rafting, and you're playing a show, and 20 to 100 people show up and are like, oh my God, this is really, really good. Okay. All right. Fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great feeling to be able to see your audience grow and hear from people that they enjoy what you're doing, and yeah, I wish I had fewer lurkers and a more active community, but at least they're watching. So hi, thank you.
Right.
Well, anyway, we're at almost 10 a.m. for me, so that's 1 p.m. for you. So I'm guessing we're getting close to work time.
Oh yeah. It's I my next thing I have to do is I actually have ASL class at 1:30. So that's the next thing I'll have to do.
Yeah, I think I only know one sign.
What do you know? What do you know? What do you
No, I'm teasing. The one sign.
Oh,
the one.
Well, this is
yes, I know. Thank you. I know a couple. Let's see. A, B, C.
A is like that.
A. Okay.
A is look at your thumbs out.
Thumbs up.
And then B.
B. C.
D.
E.
F. G. No, wait a minute. G, H. So G is 1. H,
1.
I.
J. Yeah, I remember the J. K.
L.
M.
N. O. P is like K pointing down.
P is like K pointing down. Okay.
P, element of P. Q is like this.
Okay.
Q. R is R. S. T. U. V. W. X. Like that. X. Y. And then Z. Now you know your ABCs.
Yay!
You too can fingerspell. It's funny.
Yeah. No, I remember what's his name? Tosh 0.0 for one season did a dirty sign language segment.
That's awesome. Because I work with a bunch of, there's some teenagers in my school, so it's like they'll be saying something like, I know that's not right just by the look on your face. Hold on, I'm getting that weird low battery thing. Hold on, I'm gonna plug in real quick.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, cool.
It was doing that weird, you're gonna die and leave this man all alone on his channel. No,
Well, all alone to do the closing.
not today.
No, that happened to my dad the other day when we were doing one of the YWL online shows. He at the end he cut out, and so I had to finish up the show. And Rudy wasn't here, and
Oh man.
I was all alone, and it was awful. No, I just did the ending credits, read the ending credits, and that was it. I'm a professional, doggone it.
There you go.
So, all right. So, Billingsley Rocks,
Yes.
BillingsleyRocks.com, Billingsley Official, and
Yes.
all those things. Go like the things, like, follow,
Go
share.
like all the things.
Yes.
Check out the new single Mood Ring.
Yes.
You got Serenities coming out in 17 days. More to come from the brothers from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, do all the things. Thank you for those who do.
Beg your local venue to get them on their stage.
Yes, please. If you know a place in your hometown where you think they would play well or have music on a regular basis, if you go to that website, the Bald Guy's stuff is right down at the bottom. You can send me whatever you want to send me. I will be happy to call and be pleasantly annoying to your local venue.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Very cool.
Mhm.
So thanks a lot for being on, Brian.
Well, thank you for your time, and thanks for
no
having me
problem.
on
Thanks
again.
for
I
yours.
appreciate it.
No, it was a pleasure. It was a great time last time, so I figured it'd be a great time this time. And this time we got to know you a little bit better.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and do the ending credits. Oh,
All right.
The new question. Would you rather see a great movie or a truly awful movie?
I'd rather go with a great movie.
Okay.
I mean, not that awful movies aren't bad. Like, I love Stripes, and that's an awful, awful film. But like, like if I'm gonna go with the good movie, but I guess it's all like subjective too. Like one person's Caddyshack is great to me, but it might not be great to everybody.
Caddyshack is a great movie.
Right. It's got all the elements you need. Like, it's good stuff.
See, I have to go the other direction.
You want to see
I'd want to see a truly awful movie. Like, I'm talking like Glenn or Glenda awful.
Oh, okay. Or The Gate, the bad horror movie from the
Gate.
80s.
Let's see. What was what's the name of that movie? The Bed That Eats. That was a terrible one.
I Dismembered Mama.
I Dismembered Mama. That was great. But my reasoning behind it is that hold on a second, I'm finding it. Deathbed, The Bed That Eats, 1977.
Gotcha. Oh no.
But my reasoning behind it is that even the greatest movie has something terrible about it.
Right.
No movie can be perfect.
Yeah, like wristwatches and Game of Thrones, or
right,
or the plane flying in Gladiator, or any of that stuff.
But a truly awful movie is exactly what it claims to be.
True, they're not hiding anything. This is awful.
Yeah,
we made it for cheap. Here it is.
Yep.
You can't get that time back.
Monos, The Hands of Fate. Made by a dentist on a dare.
Wow.
It is truly awful. It is terrible. But I think that's the way I got to go with it. I mean, I love great movies.
Right.
I mean, there are movies that just baffle me, and one movie for a while, long time ago now, but I couldn't stop watching was The Hours.
Okay.
With Nicole Kidman and Now I don't even remember. But I must have watched that thing like a dozen times, just trying to absorb it all.
Yeah,
And
that's
so and and I like mediocre, mediocre to great movies. I mean, I think Princess Bride is one of the greatest movies of all time.
oh, it's fantastic.
Yes. And but some people don't think so much. But and I've watched all the Marvel movies and
Mhm.
that stuff, and I enjoy those. And they're not high art, but
No, but I
but
mean, it's fun.
they're a good time.
Yeah, like you know what you're going in for. What you're gonna get. So it's like, okay, like I can dispel my disbelief for 2.5 hours. That's fine. It's okay.
As long as there's many explosions
Right. As long as there's
and
like,
and a
you
good
know,
fight scene.
colorful things and
Yes, pretty
maybe a
lights.
character arc or two. That's nice.
Yeah, no harm in that. No harm in a broad character arc or some character development.
Right.
They don't have to be exactly the same at the end of the movie. It's not
No.
noir.
No, because like, you know, no one is when you live through things.
Yeah. That was always the problem I had with true film noir, is that generally speaking, the main character never learned anything.
Yeah, and it's like that's not possible. But
I
then
mean,
they're
they're
like, oh,
great,
it's a movie.
because
It's a
they're dark
movie.
movies, right? I mean, they're great because they're dark movies, and
Mhm.
you got the grayish lines, the lines being blurred between the good guy and the bad guy, and all
Mhm.
that stuff. But your main character should learn something, I think.
Yes.
But anyway, okay. So great movies or bad movies, it's all a lot of fun.
Right. Well, thank you for having me on, and I'll
My
let you get
pleasure.
back. I'll let you get back to life in California. It's
Back
starting to
to
rain
back,
in here, so
oh wow, we had our rain yesterday. It rained pretty good too.
it's all of a sudden there's a cold front coming. It's going to be for us. It's going to be cold. It's going to be like 40s next week.
Oh wow,
Something like that.
that's not
So
too bad.
for South
But,
Carolina, people are like, "Oh, I need my winter coat." I'm like,
yeah,
"Come
we
on."
hit that if we drop below the 60s.
Oh,
So
see, I'm good with a hoodie till at least March. So
okay. All right. Well, have a great one, Brian.
you
Let me
too.
see. I need to finish the. I don't remember if you need to stay on for me to do the credits.
I will do
Well,
whatever
anyway.
you need to.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in, whether you're watching or listening to the program. This, of course, has been a presentation of Bald Spots Productions. I'd like to thank my producer, my beloved mother, Eileen Hatch. I, of course, am your humble host. I'd like to thank my beloved Ed McMahon, Rudy Corlew.
Yes.
And, of course, special thanks out to my special guest today, Brian Wagner, manager of Billingsley. Check out Billingsley Rocks, and you will be quite pleased. Check out Mood Ring,
Yes.
their latest single, and stay tuned for what's the single coming out on the 27th?
Serenity.
Serenity now.
Serenity. Yes.
And let's see. Don't forget to tune in to YWL Online on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Of course, I keep all my old episodes up, so you can find all of the old episodes of Not Quite After Midnight and Your Wonderful Life online. And then let's see, what else do I have to say? Oh yeah, if you feel so led, support the show. We'd love to have you sponsor us. Head over to Patreon at Bald Spots Pro, and you can find some rewards for helping us out. Let's see, and then what else? Oh yeah, be sure to like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, whatever it is you got to do on the platform you're using to kick that algorithm into gear and help us reach more people, because that is the point of this. So thank you once again, and have yourselves a wonderful whenever.